of the evening. And his speaker is doing a speech from storytelling, bringing history to life in 7 to 9 minutes. For speaker number 2, let's give a warm welcome to Robert Begley.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Some of you may know these words. How does a bastard, orphan, son of a horned, a Scotsman, dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished and squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar? The $10 founding father without a father got a lot farther by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. By 14, they placed him in charge of the trading charter. Well, the word got around, they said, this kid's insane, man. Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education. Don't forget from whence you came, and the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. In case you don't know, that is from the Broadway sensation, Hamilton,
Yes.
an American musical. No stage presentation I've ever seen does a better job of bringing history to life. My passion to witness Hamilton's heroism dramatized on stage had me outside the Richard Rodgers Theater more than 200 times for the in-person lottery. More than 190 times I stood there hoping to hear my name called with my heart racing, and I didn't. However, the sweet sound of victory happened often enough for me to see the musical 10 times. Hey, you gotta be in it to win it, right? Tonight, I will bring Hamilton's heroism to life. And since the club doesn't know me that well, I'll draw some parallels to my own life. So it's a little bit of an icebreaker as well. Just by show of hands, how many have seen the musical? Okay. How many have heard about it? All right. You can't live in New York. You can't live on Earth and not know about it. Hamilton's story is a story of America. It starts with a young orphan immigrant, scrappy and hungry, comes over to America, rises up to become George Washington's right-hand man during the Revolutionary War. And after losing battle after battle, finally the tide turns. And the general says to his most trusted aide, I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies within you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eyes on you. Now, if George Washington told me history had its eyes on me, I would be highly motivated to do something above the call of duty. And guess what Hamilton does? He risks his life on the battlefield, leads his troops to the decisive victory at Yorktown. The war is over. The world is turned upside down. America has won. After the war, he comes back to New York. But most of the city is in shambles because the British had occupied it for the past 7 years. So he co-founds the Bank of New York to get it back in business. As a kid in the Caribbean, he saw the evil of racism and slavery, and he rejected it because he was a staunch individualist who judged people on merit. His pro-business, pro-economics, pro-industry policies took America from bankruptcy to prosperity. Alexander Hamilton was larger than life, a visionary who saw far ahead of the curve. Bold, brave, confrontational, and unconventional. A thinker who was also a man of action. His power of speech, unimpeachable. In defense of liberty and the Constitution, he was as effective with his voice and pen as with his musket. But unlike today's politicians who rely on populist pandering, Hamilton used the persuasive power of reason. As a man of the Enlightenment, he upheld individual rights and the rule of law. These are some of the reasons why Alexander Hamilton is my hero. For you guys way in the back, this says Alexander Hamilton is my hero. Full disclosure, I didn't always like Hamilton. I didn't think he was impeccable. I'm wrong. What made me change my mind? History is happening in Manhattan, and we just happen to be in the greatest city in the world. More than anyone else, he made this the greatest city in the world. For me, living my entire life in his city, where cathedrals of commerce reach up to touch the sky, just like this on the 32nd floor. It's incredible. Where Lady Liberty enlightens the world and welcomes the can-do spirit, I saw that common bond that we shared. 2004 was a pivotal year in my life. When Ron Chernow's biography came out and the New York Historical Society had an exhibit, I became decidedly Hamiltonian. Earlier that same year, I formed an organization called the New York Hero Society to promote heroism in the culture. Why do we need heroes? Because they achieve great things, overcome enormous obstacles. They inspire us to serve as role models. Heroes supply us with emotional and spiritual fuel, especially in times of doubt or despair. We are the beneficiaries of their accomplishments even centuries after they've lived. Another trait that I share with the $10 founding father, reverence for Wall Street. That's right, I actually said reverence. Because it is the financial engine that runs the world. There would be no middle class without Wall Street. For proof of that, look anywhere around the world. If they don't have a Wall Street, they don't have middle class. I spent many years earning a living downtown, and Hamilton, he had such a high opinion of Wall Street, he chose to be buried there. On my own website, robert.begley.com, I list 3 skills that Hamilton inspires me to emulate: speaker, writer, and leader. We in Toastmasters know the power of speech. I have one talk called Hamilton, the Man, the Myth, and the Musical, and sometimes I do it in full costume with a powdered wig and ruffled sleeves and boots, and I really get a chance to bring history to life. I was tempted to do it tonight, but I want to talk about me too. Why do you write like you're running out of time? Oh, see, the green card might be running out of time. Well, long before I knew that Chernow's biography would be turned into a mega musical, I wrote a book review of it. And I've written several other pieces that have been published about both Hamilton and the musical. My current goal is within 1 year to write my first book, which combines 3 of my favorite topics: New York, heroes, and history. They are asking me to lead. I'm doing the best I can. We Toastmasters also know the value of leadership. It's where leaders are made. It says it right there. Now, aside from running monthly events, from walking tours, philosophy discussion groups, and hikes for the New York Hero Society, I've managed personnel under high-pressure situations for different Wall Street firms. And I've been the club president for 3 different Toastmasters groups so far. That's a summary of both Hamilton's life and my own. But there's a lot more to say and do. In fact, tonight starts a new chapter. And I invite you to take part in this next chapter. I think we can aim to do it one achievement at a time. And with Hamilton serving as an inspiration, if we pick up a pen and write our own deliverance, and do that on a grand scale, someday history might have its eyes on each one of us.
Forgot your pen. Oh.